Hi, I'm Sylvia Gordon with Gordon Marketing. This is, what award did you win? Marketer of the Year?
Yes.
This is the queen of our team, Sissy Clark. And Rebecca is down in Florida visiting Dad right now. So Sissy is going to talk to us about some of the things that's really making the phone rings for agents, which is confusion around UHC's rule.
Lots of
confusion, so stay tuned. It's going to be kind of a boring episode, but just stay with me. So we want to talk right now about something that's new and unusual in the industry. I think this is starting the third year with United Healthcare, where they have, if you've gotten contracted, but you didn't write a single piece of business across their platform, you didn't write a Med Sup, a Part D, a Med Advantage,
correct,
that you took their money, you took their resources and their money, get yourself contracted, so they're going to make you pay them.
Yes.
And so what do they call that? Non-production fee or inactivity fee?
Yes, but there's several different layers, and this is where it gets confusing. And I had several phone calls, and I've been looking up and getting all this information. So this is key. And I want to let all of you know that you will be hearing from us, your marketers. If you have someone that has not produced, we're going to send you that email so you can get them into production. I've got the whole list. We got that done this morning.
So before it was too late. When they first started it, once you got hit, you didn't have a grace period to go write a piece of business.
That's correct.
And say, but now there is time?
Well, that depends.
What's the measurement period? When are they going to take the money out?
So the evaluation period, and this is where it gets really confusing, is from July 1st to April the 1st. And the only way that I could figure it out in my brain was basically 10 months to write. So I had like this little clock in my head. So what happens is, and this is where it gets crazy, if you recruit an agent and they contract with you, let's say it's September, October, November. Let's use 2020 as an example. If they do not write a piece of business going into 2021 within that window, July 1st, April 1st, it's not technically a year, they get dinged. So let's talk about dinging.
So it costs either $150 or $250. What's the difference?
If you're a resident license, it's $150. If you have non-res, it's $250.
So if I have a non-res in 5 states,
$250.
it's just $250.
Mm-hmm.
If I have a non-resident in 1 state,
$150. No,
it's still $250.
It's still $250. Yes.
So if you're an independent agent with no sub-agents, you never aspire to have any sub-agents, you don't want to grow up to an agency, you can jump off, because that's really what we're talking about in this episode. So all the rest of you that already have sub-agents or want to grow into that, especially the ones that don't have it yet, like the lady we're talking today, she wants to grow into that. Mm-hmm. You got to know this stuff, because most of the people that you recruit, 95% of people that get their insurance license wash out. Mm-hmm. 95%. And those of you that have been in the game recruiting people know most of the people that you recruit and train will eventually wash out. So you bring in a new recruiting class, say you bring in 3 to 5 people, and half of them don't write a piece of business. They wasted your time. That's part of the game. But then you get hit. If you contracted them with United Healthcare, you will pay either $150 or $250 for each one of those guys that didn't write a piece of business. How does United Healthcare get that money?
Oh, okay. So I'm going to go a little cray-cray on this, because I just learned this. So if you're a solicitor, you don't count.
Okay, so I'm a direct vested street level agent, and I didn't write for you, and you recruited me.
Okay, so this is where it gets a little insane.
Do I have to pay it, or does my upline pay it?
Well, it depends. So if you are a street level agent and you have renewals, a book of business with UHC, and you don't write within that evaluation period, you will not get terminated, but you pay the fee.
And that's something that nobody knows.
Right.
I'm talking to other FMOs, and nobody knows that. Now, this is the thing, because this gets muddy. When I normally think about this inactivity fee, I think of somebody you recruited, you brought them on, contracted them, they certified, and they didn't write, which is very common. But your scenario would be somebody that's written for 5 years, but they didn't write last year because they got cancer.
That's correct.
Or they had to nurse their mom.
That's correct.
Right? Mm-hmm. So they have renewals on the books, but they didn't write last year. Those people get really mad. They're like, what are you talking about? You're charging me $250 because I didn't write last year because my mom had cancer?
Right. So if you're GA, MGA, or FMO, and you have a street level agent underneath of you that has renewals, this street level agent, that fee comes out of their renewals.
Comes out of their money.
Their money. However, if you have a street level agent that has no renewals on the books, they're still responsible to pay the fee. If they don't pay the fee, you get dinged. And they'll take it out of your renewals.
Yeah, they're just going to take it. They're going to take it out of your renewals.
Right out. Mm-hmm.
So, especially big agencies that recruit a lot of people.
Yeah.
There's some call centers, they recruit 25 people at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, most people eventually watch out. And you get them contracted in more than one state.
Right.
So now you're at 250. 250 times a bunch of washouts, you can get a bill for a lot of money.
Yes, you can. Yes.
And if you're a big enough agency, that's a cost of doing business.
Per agent, remember. So if you have 5 agents, you're getting dinged 5 times that fee,
But
right out of your renewals.
It's the small agency that only has 5 or 10 people
Mm-hmm.
that just got into the agency business that's going, what?
Right.
They're scared because they didn't understand the appointment fees. They get hit and they're like, wow, $6,000 for appointment fee?
Yep.
I don't even sell in Wyoming, Nebraska, where and then inactivity fee for these guys, you got to understand your business, okay? It's not just about selling. It's about the art of managing a business, which is where most people fail.
Right.
They're good salespeople.
And so the other thing that we want to talk about is, so the agent that you just recruited who didn't write is going to get terminated. And the fee. Both.
Yeah, because whatever, you didn't write anything.
Mm-hmm.
You're just taking up space and you're costing the carrier money,
Right.
right?
Right.
And exposure. So they're going to X you.
They're going to X you.
Now, normally the normal washout person, they don't care, you don't care, whatever. But it's the person that their mom got cancer or their husband was in a debilitating car wreck and they had to nurse them.
Mm-hmm.
There's reasons why they couldn't sell last year, but they will sell again. And that's why you got to understand, you want to help that person. Just send them one Part D referral.
Yeah.
They just need to sell one piece of business.
A Part D.
Right? I said just send them one
One.
referral. Let them write one case of business,
Mm-hmm.
one piece of business, so that they don't have the fee.
Right.
They're not terminated, because if they are terminated, one, they get a bad taste in their mouth for United Healthcare.
Right.
The nation's largest healthcare company.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just like, I don't want to ever. No, this is solid business decision. United's making this decision.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to contract people with Gordon Marketing that don't sell, that waste my time and money. That's expensive to me. Yeah. I'm mad at them when they bring in people that don't work.
Right.
I'm like, that cost me $50.
Mhm.
You pay it. And that's the same thing United's doing.
Right.
So they shouldn't get a bad taste in their mouth about United.
That's correct.
This is they're not being managed correctly by their upline. This comes back to you guys knowing the art of your business. If they do get terminated, they got terminated for non-production. How quickly can they get recontracted?
Oh, so this is awesome. So they have to pay the fee before they can move.
Yeah, because they're mad at you. They're like, well,
Uh-huh.
Medicare, whoever you are, that you didn't tell me.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me, so I'm leaving you and I'm going over here.
Mm-hmm.
They got to pay it before they're
They
free.
have to pay it before they're free to move. It's got to be paid.
And are they barred from recontracting for 12 months, or could they immediately pay it and recontract?
They can immediately pay it and recontract. However, there was a stipulation. I don't know if it's. I think once they pay it, they can move. If they don't pay it, I believe they're stuck for 6 months.
That's a terminate.
Yes.
So that was
Terminate. That's the key word.
okay. I normally don't go into this much detail with one carrier's rules, the esoterica of this. However, the United being the largest carrier, the biggest footprint, the most agents, almost all of you have a contract with United. And you need to understand this before it comes back and bites you and you get mad at your FMO
Right.
or your other upline or United. You know, at the beginning of the year, everything calms down. Right now, we are calming down. This is where look at your appointment fees, where you're appointed,
Right.
help your downline agents determine if we need all those appointments because you're going to get hit with those fees, and understand how recruiting new people, how that will look,
Yes.
what that happens with these fees. So that's all I wanted you here for. You did a great job. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much.
And hello to Rebecca. I hope you're watching. And stay tuned next week where we're going to talk about a variety of, like we normally do, wide topics that across carriers and across platforms.
So I'm sorry. I just wanted to remind you that we are, I believe, one of the only FMOs that are putting this report together, and that you, agencies, you're going to know who's not rating, and you'll probably get the email tomorrow.
Awesome. Thanks, guys, for tuning in.